どうだかどうだ Where are you? Add Astra. Protect us. Yeah. Yeah. Huh. Yahoo! Ha. Ha. Da da da. Pew. Time for takeoff. You can't run! Let's dance! Boing, boing, boom! Pew! Let's play! Yeah! Hi-ya! Let the show be. Think you can get away? Punishment! Judgment! Yeah! Wouldn't gliding be faster? Yeah! Huh? I'll protect you. Here we go. Judgment. Boing, boing, boom. Jumpy, dumpy, go. Yeah. Barbara, go! Time for takeoff. Lights out. Yeah! Blow them all up! Pew! Dumpty dumpty go! Add Astro. Thank you for complete. Go, Barbara, go! Let the show begin. Yeah! Judgment! Pew! Jumpy, jumpy, go! Da-da-da! Ooh! Wouldn't gliding be faster? La la la. Punishment. Judgment. Think you can get away? Sparks and fire. Ouch. Help protect us. You can't run. Shiver. Da-da-da. La la la. Yeah. Boing boing boom. Time for takeoff. Blow them all up. Punishment! Not fair! Judgment! Ouch! Pew! Think you can get away? La la la. La 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 la. Go, Barbara, go. Let's dance. Yahoo! Lights out. Time for takeoff. Blazing delight! Jumpy, jumpy, go! Let's play! Shiver! Think you can get away? Sparks and blast! Yeah. I'll protect us. Come on, we can do it. Go, Barbara, go! I wonder when I'll be as... Everyone is working super... Boing, boing, boom! Pew! Uncle Tien, we're here to chat with you.
Oh? What a lovely surprise. Welcome. Oishi, why don't you go downstairs and get the shopkeeper to make us a fresh pot of tea? I heard that you've been traveling all over the place recently. I would very much like to hear your adventure stories. Hoishin told you, didn't she? Don't worry, I'm quite all right. It's just the years gradually catching up with me. As I grow older, I'm starting to find that with many things, though the mind is willing, the flesh is weak. Especially recently, I've noticed a rather drastic drop in my energy levels. I am still very much in good standing as the Tianshu today. Nevertheless, I wish to pass on the position before my mental acuity begins to decline beyond redemption.
How difficult is it to transfer the Tianshu position?
Oh, well, you see, the Tianshu is a rather unique position among the Liyue Qixing. Historically speaking, the Tianshu rarely appears in public. We stay behind the scenes, planning and giving advice, so a public selection process would not be suitable. We also want to keep any prospective Tianshu candidates free from influence by outside forces, so we tend to be as discreet as possible in their assessment and appointment. For these reasons, the incumbent Tianshu typically recommends their candidate of choice, and this is then approved by the other Qixing members.
So in other words, you pick someone, and then Lady Keqing, Lady Ningguang, and the other Qixing appoint them?
Correct. Unfortunately, due to my health, I won't be able to assess every candidate myself. Not to despair, however, because I found someone exceptionally capable to act on my behalf as assessment officer. In fact, I believe you recently became acquainted with her yourself.
Oh? Who is it?
I'm heartbroken. I thought it might take you a little longer than this to forget all about me.
It's Yelan!
Jackpot. Uncle Tien here asked me to assess 3 candidates for him. Fancy joining me? You'll be among the first to get to know the next Tianshu. Might be a good opportunity for you.
What do you think? Paimon thinks so too. It can't be a bad thing to be on good terms with a new Qixing, right?
All right then. Though, I gotta say, Uncle Tien, you say you're into behind-the-scenes planning? My work's of the covert variety too. Don't you think I might make a good Tianshu?
Huh? Yelan, you want to be the next Tianshu?
I'm not opposed to the idea, but I suspect Ningguang wouldn't let you go very easily after how long you've been working together. So, how about this? If your investigation reveals that none of the other candidates are qualified for the position, I'll recommend you for the job.
Deal. Well, you guys take your time. Everything's all set for the assessments to go ahead. Meet me on the first floor when you're ready. Until then, have a pleasant conversation. Oh, and no need to pay for your tea. As the new owner of this fine establishment, this runs on the house. You're all set?
Uncle Tian seems really worn down. It's like all his energy's gone.
Yeah, it may sound harsh, but Uncle Tian is past his prime. He's not cut out for this anymore. So he's recommended 3 candidates. Their names are Qianwei, Mingbo, and Zhi. Qianwei is a wealthy entrepreneur. Mingbo works at the Liyue Ministry of Civil Affairs, and Zhi is focused on study and travel. Try to keep all that in mind. Of course, it doesn't really matter if you forget, since we'll be assessing them at Yuehai Pavilion in a short while.
Qianwei, Mingbo, Zhi. Paimon should be able to remember their names, but what does the assessment involve exactly?
Let's leave that until we get to Yuehai Pavilion. All right. Heads in the game, people. The stakes don't get much higher than a change in the Qixing. We can't afford to miss anything, no matter how small.
Got it. We'll keep our eyes wide open. Da, da, da.
Oh,
Was an accident.
My legs are getting sore. What is wrong with this assessment officer? This is a huge occasion and I don't even get a chair. I've dealt with all kinds of people in my time, but never have I been made to stand while I'm waiting for an appointment.
Oh, I think it's fine.
That's called being complacent. If you're happy to just accept the way things are, you'll never be able to change anything in the future.
Oh, come on. That's just... Now you're just being unreasonable.
All right, you two. Let's not get into a big argument over this. It's not worth it. Qianwei, that was a bit uncalled for. And Mingbo, cut him some slack. We've all been standing around for a while. It's natural to be getting irritable. Look, how about this? There's no rule saying we're obliged to stand up while we wait, so why don't we borrow some chairs from the guild nearby?
Fine. They're not the best quality chairs, to be sure. But under the circumstances, it would be better than nothing.
It looks like all 3 candidates have arrived. We'll meet them formally soon. Before that, let me run you through the assessment process. I've split it into 2 stages: current affairs and planning, and face-to-face interview. In the first stage, candidates are required to submit a manifesto for Liyue's development. In the second stage, we will ask them some questions in person. Writing a manifesto takes time, so I informed them of this requirement in advance. These are the reports they submitted.
Wow. One of them is really thick.
It's also worth mentioning a stipulation I gave them. Whoever is appointed as the new Tianshu will be expected to implement their plan as put forward in their manifesto. Failing the occurrence of some cataclysmic event, they will not be permitted to change their plan. Therefore, these 3 piles of documents in front of us represent where each candidate stands on key policy issues. There's still some time. Have a skim through, get a first impression of what each person's proposing. I'll be waiting off to the side. Just let me know when you're done. Finished, huh? What did you think?
Everyone took it very seriously.
Of course they did. They have the chance to be picked as the new Tianshu, so you can bet they're putting their best foot forward. And keep in mind, whoever gets in has to execute their plan as written. Nobody wants to have any regrets. That's for me to know and you to find out. We can talk more after the interviews. We'll see the candidates now. Let's do one at a time. Start with Chenwei.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, so you two are the assessment officers, are you? I had assumed that given the great import of this situation, Lady Ningguang would perhaps be assessing us in person. I certainly hadn't imagined I'd be seeing two entirely unfamiliar faces. I trust you've read through my manifesto? I'd be more than happy to clarify any details you found difficult to grasp. It was written with an expert audience in mind, after all.
Mind your tone, mister.
Relax. It wasn't intended as a personal slight against anyone in particular. I was simply stating a fact. Cloud Retainer? You know this Adeptus? Oh, yes, I remember now. You must be the traveler that people are constantly talking about. With your sterling reputation, you must have a respectable level of erudition. Perhaps you will be able to understand the concepts I have put forward. Although I shouldn't get my hopes up.
Oh, is it my turn?
Yes. Please introduce yourself.
I'm, Mingbo. I work in the Ministry of Civil Affairs. I've worked there for, 9 years, 5 months, and 3 days. In that time, I've handled, 2,347 cases. I have 12 active cases at the moment. They should be concluded in, 16 days? My current work is related to urban planning, and I'm also responsible for, auditing the accounts. To be more precise, there are 3 parts to the accounts, namely...
Is it just Paimon, or is he not very good at public speaking?
You know what? Let's leave the self-introduction there and move on to some questions.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Hello. Not gonna lie, I'm feeling a little nervous. What would you like to know? You're here to assess me, so ask away and I'll answer your questions to the best of my ability.
Your manifesto is very wide in its scope, but you don't seem to be personally involved in many of the specific fields. How can you be sure that you have the ability to put your plan into action?
Very fair question. I completely understand where you're coming from. But I'm confident in my plan. I've visited many different places, talked to lots of people with far more expertise than myself, and my manifesto is the conclusion of these efforts. Of course, 2 different problems can be interconnected in very complicated ways, and you might reach 2 very contradictory conclusions depending on which one you're focusing on. What I've tried to do is strike a balance. In other words, present an optimal solution to all the problems as a whole.
How do you plan to determine whether you are right or wrong about your proposed solution being the optimal one?
A great question. Well, I'd start by having my colleagues and the secretaries of the Yuehai Pavilion evaluate any proposals before implementation. Post-implementation, it would all come down to the results. If it turned out that my judgment was to blame for poor results, I would take responsibility.
Nice answer. All right, next question.
He seems like a great guy. Everything he said was thoughtful and logical, and he was just a pleasure to listen to.
Here's my take on what we just learned. As you saw, Qianwei is highly knowledgeable. He proposes many excellent ideas in his manifesto which effectively target the big issues. But he is very proud and incredibly stubborn. He doesn't care much about other people's feelings. Mingbo's plan is more thorough and more measured. You can tell he's meticulous in his work, very detail-oriented. But he and Qianwei are otherwise polar opposites. Minghua is not very articulate and comes across as very timid in conversation.
Perfect summary. Paimon couldn't agree more. You're good at this, Yewan.
Last but not least, Jur-E. His manifesto is full of pertinent details, his methodology is sound, and his proposals cover a broad range of fields, which is quite a rare feat. The depth he goes into in each and every area means it can only be a product of painstaking work. Plus, he is modest and good at dealing with people. But what really interests me is that many of his views happen to coincide with Uncle Tien's. Having someone like Jur-E take the position would certainly put Uncle Tien's mind at rest.
Great!
We'll see. Let's go back and report to Uncle Tien.
I see. Then it's more or less as I anticipated.
All right, then let me ask this. The ideas in Jur-E's manifesto are very similar to your own. Is there any particular reason behind this?
Oh, I didn't want to say anything when I gave you the list of candidates, for fear of affecting your judgment. But I can tell you now. Those 3 candidates have all studied under me in the past. It's only natural that they share some similarities with me. But Xin Wei went on to focus on his business, and Ming Bo has always been occupied with his work at the Ministry of Civil Affairs. Of all of them, Juri was with me for the longest duration.
Whoa! So how did you get to know them all, Uncle Tien?
Chen Wei was referred to me by an old friend. Ming Bo came to my attention in the course of my work, and as for Juri, that was pure happenstance. We first met while fishing. Gradually, as we got to know each other, we started discussing all sorts of topics. Juri came from a poor family, and his parents died when he was very young. But he was a gifted student and a fast learner. He reminded me of a younger version of myself, so I started out giving him a few words of advice when we were out fishing and noticed how quickly he got on. Quite. And now, all of a sudden, he's grown into a mature young man. It's a joy to see, but it also gets one thinking. The young are growing up, and I am growing old. How time flies. No one can escape the cycle of life.
I don't know, Uncle Tien. You still seem in pretty good shape to me. You might have another few years of work left in you, don't you think?
Oh, you. There's really no need to console me. Having less energy than I used to isn't such a bad thing. It just means I finally have a good reason to retire. Spend my days doing what old men like me should be doing. Going fishing whenever I feel like it.
Sounds like you sure love fishing, Uncle Tien.
Ooh, there's nothing quite like fishing to pass the time. Ooh, and freshly caught fish, they make the most beautiful fish soup with barely any preparation required.
Fresh fish soup. Sounds tasty.
Doesn't it? Also, some time ago, Juri purchased a very special recipe from an old fisherman. When we've been fishing recently, Juri always brings some extra ingredients he prepared in advance. The addition of these makes that flavor makes for a fond memory. But at my age, who knows how many more...
Ooh, can Paimon quiet.
Let's get back to the matter at hand. Uncle Tian, we've reported back. Do you have a verdict?
I appointed you as the assessment officer, and I trust your judgment. Had you not asked me why Juri's ideas were so similar to mine, I was not going to mention my history with any of them. This decision must be guided by what is fair and right. Please disregard all other considerations and make your final decision. Remember, you must be thorough.
Understood. Come on, let's go talk somewhere else.
Bye-bye, Uncle Tian. Look after yourself. So, it's gonna be Jiri, right? His manifesto was written well, and he's the best speaker.
Easy. Let's not rush. There's no time limit for this assessment.
Huh? So, are you gonna give them more tests or something?
No, nothing like that. The assessment itself is complete. But let me give you a word of advice. Things are not always as they appear. The biggest no-no in intelligence work is to only get information from the person of interest themselves. The truth is almost always hidden beneath many layers of For example, Wenyuan, Shanghua.
Yes?
Lady Yelan, what are your orders?
Ugh! Who are they? Where did they come from?
Did they scare you? These two are Wenyuan and Shanghua. They work for me. As my trusted assistants, they are always standing guard nearby. They also perform various assignments as required. Shanghua is a business expert who gets his information by trading. Wenyuan relies on word of mouth. And there's also Upei, who's...
That meathead must have been out there on sea surveillance for some time now. Is he all right? I seem to remember that he can't swim.
Nothing can take that guy down. Certainly not a little wind and waves.
Shanghua, visit all the commerce guilds and look into Qianwei's background. Wenyuan, go to the Ministry of Civil Affairs and look through...
Yes, ma'am.
So what about Jiri?
Jiri, well, obviously as the most promising candidate, we will... Let's go to the docks first. Lots of people passing through there. You can find out...
If we're looking for information, why don't we try talking to Bulai, the owner of... He does business at the North Wharf. Maybe he has some news for us.
That's actually not a bad idea. Let's go and ask him.
Let the show begin. Woo! La la la. Huh? What's Bulai doing here today? Let's dance. Boing, boing, boom!
Look, your asking price for this batch is just too high. I can't buy in at this price. How am I supposed to turn a profit?
Come on, hear me out. I'm telling you, this is the single best batch of Sunsettias ever. I accidentally dropped one into a well, and even the water turned sweet.
Even so...
All right. I'll let you in on a little secret. The boss of Second Life also wants to buy from me, but I haven't responded yet. If you won't take him, I'll just have to partner with them instead. And neither of us wants that.
Okay, well, when you put it that way, I'll accept your asking price. Oh, what are you doing here? And to be clear, these Sunsettias are mine. I got to them first. Don't get any ideas.
Actually, we wanted to ask you about a guy called Jiri. Have you heard of him before?
Juri? Yes, he's quite well known. I've heard a story about him. They say he was born into poverty. His parents died. One of his neighbors was terribly rude to him all the time. But Juri never retaliated. And when his neighbor went bankrupt, He returned cruelty with kindness, injustice with peace offerings. A gentleman of talent and character, and... how did I...
Oh, he sounds like a decent man. We can finally breathe a sigh of relief.
Why are you asking about him anyway? You aren't looking for a brand ambassador too, are you? Well then, in that case, the higher bidder takes the... that's Juri right over there.
Where?
It's him, all right. Looks like he's chatting with Linlong. Come on, let's follow them and listen in. Try not to let him see you. We want this information to be as truthful as possible.
I'll just go and fetch an employment contract. And hey, don't try and cut me out of this. Hey!
I understand. Let's walk and talk. So, you were looking to buy a wineware set? Oh, now I can see that you're a connoisseur, so I won't bother trying to con you. I trust you understand our shop quite well?
The truth is, an old friend of mine who likes to have a drink now and then.
What's the hurry? Don't get too close, or he'll see you. Try not to let him see you.
I understand. Let's walk and talk. So, you were looking to buy a wineware set? Oh, now I can see that you're a connoisseur, so I won't bother trying to con you. I trust you understand our shop quite well?
The truth is, an old friend of mine who likes to have a drink now and then. He fancies himself as a man of culture, but doesn't care for needless extravagance. So I thought I might buy him a set of high-quality fakes.
How very thoughtful of you. Leave it to me, then. Come and collect it at Shigu Antiques whenever is convenient.
Thank you very much, Miss Linlong.
It's my pleasure, Mr. Juri. These days, it's quite rare for someone of your standing to still keep up with their old friends. It's nice to see. I'll be sure to pick out a good set for you. You can count on me. Juri seems to get along really well with everyone. Are you satisfied now, Yelan? Seems like everyone thinks Juri's a great guy.
We shouldn't jump to conclusions just yet. Let's go check out the wharf where he usually goes fishing.
Do we have to? Wait, you're not just trying to dig up some dirt on Juri because you want to be Tianshu yourself, or...
Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. But hey, if I do become Tianshu, I'll look out for you guys. You'll be able to try all the finest food for free. How does that sound?
We will? Well, come on! Off to the South Wharf we go! Woo! La la la!
When will the boat get here?
The wharf is as busy as ever. I hear the anglers here sometimes sell their fish to the nearby fishmongers.
Welcome. What would you like to buy today?
Sorry to interrupt. We're actually members of the, Liyue Anglers Association, and we just wanted to ask a few questions. We've heard about this young man called Zhi, who's supposed to be a...
Whoa! Yeon made up a whole fake identity. What's up?
Ah, yes, Jury. He's been making quite a name for himself recently. I've got some friends who travel all... apparently, he had a rather tough time growing up. How does that saying go? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Well, if there's anything...
Yeah, we think so too.
But I'm afraid your Anglers Association might be in for it.
Oh? Why's that?
He's good at a lot of things, but fishing isn't one of them. He fishes at the wharf and sells what he catches to me on occasion. His catches are always mediocre. Not terrible, but equally nothing to write home about.
That sounds fantastic. I've got a couple of other things to attend to right now, though, so why don't I...
Sure thing. See you.
Everywhere they go, they meet someone who's heard of him. Come on, let's keep asking around.
Here to buy some fish? It's 300 for one or 3 for 1,000. You better hurry. When they're gone, they're gone.
Hello, we're from the Society for Fish Price Research.
Wow, she switched identity again.
Society for Fish Price Research?
Please, don't worry. We're just here to conduct a simple survey. We've heard about a certain Zhi who's been selling fresh fish at low prices in this area.
So this isn't about me. You should have said something, you know. I haven't heard anything about him selling fresh fish at low prices, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was.
Oh? Why is that?
Because he's so poor. His parents died when he was very young, and his alcoholic father he was still a kid when he first came to the wharf. His clothes were ragged, and he managed to survive, thanks to Uncle Tien. I mean, he can afford to eat and everything, but you'll often see him haggling with others over it's not like he catches much anyway, so it's not going to
You'd rather he didn't know?
Well, I spoke to him once, briefly, and I just had a feeling that he really cares. I think he has pretty low self-esteem. But hey, it's hardly my place to say anything. What he's achieved nobody's perfect. I just wouldn't want to upset him, that's all.
I see. Well, thank you for sharing that with us.
Not a problem. And just for the record, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the price of my fish.
The more times you say it, the less convincing it becomes.
Doesn't have a lot of mora to his name.
Hey, it's you guys! Wait, what's the phrase? Oh yeah, honored to meet you. What brings you to me?
The truth is, we are but newcomers to this territory. We heard tell of a great martial artist,
Really? People said I know everything there is to know?
But of course, we also heard that Master Dugu is a kind and virtuous sword.
Great! So what do you wish to know? Nothing happens on this street that I don't know, but...
Now she's lying to a kid.
So, Master Dugu, have you heard of one by the name of Zhi?
Sure have. You mean that guy that all the grown-ups are? I've heard many tales of Zhi. For example, I can't remember. Probably 'cause it's nothing that important. I prefer stories about sword-fighting heroes.
Oh, I can completely understand that. Then let me ask you this.
Oh yeah, I know that. It was about 2 or 3 months ago. Before that, people always used to talk about Zhi in a kind of nasty tone of voice. But sometimes he gives me candies, so I'm glad that people are starting to...
Just as I thought.
Huh? What do you...
I mean, Just as I thought, Master Dugu is indeed as kind and virtuous as the legends claim.
I'm not that great. Oh yeah, one other thing. These days, there's a lot of people I've never seen before talking about jury.
Oh, definitely.
Great! So next time I see them, I'll say hi. And
Certainly. You can also tell my friend in Yenshang Tea House about what they're up to.
thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Well then, fare thee well, Master.
Until we meet again.
Any of that sound strange to you?
Strange? What was strange about it? Jiryu seems to have a great reputation. Uncle Soon and Uncle Gao spoke highly of him.
True. But the issue is, where did his sudden celebrity come from?
Sudden? Too good to be true?
So he returns cruelty with kindness and had to work to support his studies. These are the kinds of things that make someone well known in their home. Do you remember what Dugu Shuo said about Zhiyi's stories? Clearly they left him with a good plus. There's the fact that all this praise of Zhiyi has only been his childhood, his studies, the thing with his neighbor. None of these are recent events.
When you put it like that, it is kinda strange.
Of course, if that's all there was to it, I wouldn't look into it any further. Zhiyi was born into a poor family, paying people to get it. The problem is, do you remember what Uncle Gao said about him? He's stayed poor his whole life. Everything he's earned, he's either spent on studying, traveling, right, and that changes everything. That's the worst case scenario. But all too often, the most pessimistic.
Someone's trying to gain influence over the Qixing? That sounds serious. What should we do? Even if we ask Jiryu about it, surely there's...
First, we need to find out who's supporting him. Remember the current affairs and planning stage of the assessment? Since the successful candidate is duty, whoever is secretly helping Zhiyi must be seeking to benefit from his... Come on, let's get back to Yenshang. Zhiyi's manifesto covers a huge range of topics. Looking for details that don't add up will be like trying to find a needle in a... I'll divide the reports into 2 piles. You take one. Officially, the assessment is already over, and I'll be...
Yikes! We better hurry!
Whatever else Uncle Tian might think of Zhiyi, the fact remains that he's one of his favorites. Any evidence he's left is not going to be immediately obvious.
Even though Yelan took half, this is still a lot to get through. Well, we gotta... All this reading is giving Paimon a headache. Let's take a break.
Looks like I'm the first one back, as usual.
Oh, hey! It's one of Yelan's little helpers, Shanghua! If you're back, that means you finished investigating Tian...
You betcha. I visited all the commerce guilds and gathered a wealth of information. Every time they asked me to leave, but I always had...
Don't drag this out. Just tell us your findings.
Yes, Lady Yelan. To summarize my findings, most people who've had interactions with Qianwei will start out complaining about how proud and arrogant he is, but then go on to give a generally positive appraisal of him. The young master of the Feiyun Commerce Guild said that Qianwei appears arrogant, but he's very scrupulous in the way he works. Once he signs a contract with somebody, he treats them fairly regardless of their background.
Who'd have thought?
Is it possible that his reputation is fake? Is there any way you can check the accounts of the businesses under his name?
In theory, that should be very difficult. But here's the thing. I asked around and found out that almost all of Qianwei's accounts are open to the public. Where he buys from and sells to should be confidential business information, but he doesn't seem interested in protecting it at all. Qianwei often sees business opportunities that others don't, but once he's made enough mora off of it, it's like he gets sick of it and releases all of his trade secrets. It's like he wants people to know that they still can't beat him, even if he shares all of his secrets. The fact that someone like that can still make mora is pretty...
What a strange guy. It's like he's not doing business
To validate his theories. No wonder his manifesto contains so many insights. It's all the result of his first...
I'm back! Huh? Why do you think? Obviously, because I possess superior skills.
You... Ugh, whatever. I'm not getting into an argument with you. Lady Yelan, I have finished investigating Mingbua.
Well, we're all ears.
The Ministry of Civil Affairs says that Mingbua struggles to get his words out, but after a few days of getting to know him, you can pretty much have a normal conversation with him.
In your opinion, was the Ministry of Civil Affairs' appraisal of...
I don't believe so. Mingbua is someone who has slowly but surely earned the reputation. According to Miss Yu, the ministry often gets Mingbua to take a final look at projects before they're... Oh, and also, there was once someone in the ministry who was lying and cheating to try to advance their career. Mingbua gave them the scolding of a lifetime.
Whoa, that's hard to imagine.
Like I said before, things are not always as...
Ah, so that's what you meant by...
Thank you both. You're free to go now. So, have you finished reading the manifesto?
We still have a bit left.
I can't see any immediate problems. The only one that strikes me as a little unusual is the Jiangshu Pool has always been home to many secrets. Plus, Ajdaha once rocked. At some point, a rumor began to go around that there is a long time ago, with the approval of the Qixing.
So, did they find any treasure?
None. The ruin was completely impenetrable. The only way they could have... The technology wasn't mature enough at that time. So the excavation Zhi-Yi's manifesto focuses on solving problems. And this treasure hunt seems... Still, this one fact alone doesn't tell us much. Did you...
Excavation? Project? Treasure? Did we read anything similar in our... Oh yeah! Zhi-Yi said the Blackcliff Forge workers...
Did he now? Well, that makes everything much clearer. So
Does that mean the Blackcliff Forge is Zhi-Yi's secret?
No, not likely. I've looked into the Blackcliff Forge before. They do possess some specialized explosives, but it would seem more trouble than it's worth. Still, since the clues are pointing toward the Blackcliff Forge...
Qianwei and Mingbua both turned out... What about Zhi-Yi? Is there another side to him too?
This will slow things down. This is the Blackcliff Forge. Let's look around for clues.
Standing guard. It's so bad.
What's this? A diary?
From the back, it looks like a ledger. But it seems they all... We don't know who wrote it, but it's interesting, don't you think?
You think they're suspicious?
Yes. Look, It says right there, one of them's already been promoted. At this rate, by the time the Qingshu Pool redevelopment plan is ready to roll, that'll give them the chance to take a lot of liberties. They can copy any secret text. Imagine if we didn't suspect anything. By the time Jur-E recommends the Blackcliff Forge for the excavation project, no red flags if all they did was change some key staff. And even if we decided to vet the staff individually, that's the advantage of planning this far in advance.
When you put it like that, it all makes sense. If we hadn't found this out, someone else would have... So, who's really behind it?
That's a question for the newcomers. But let's start with that worker over there for now.
Excuse us. We want to ask you about the...
You want them to teach? I gotta say, these newcomers are in tip-top shape. My only complaint is that they're always going out drinking at night. But they never let us join. I guess they just need some time to adjust.
They go out drinking. This area isn't exactly renowned.
You got that right. They tell me they go all... It rained after work today, so they actually... Hey, you're only young once, right? I say.
Interesting. Let's go talk some... Looks like our hunch was on the Mora. Drinking in Liyue Harbor, huh? So good thing it rained today. It means they'll leave footprints. I doubt they'd...
They went that away! Hurry, we gotta catch up! These footprints are heading towards Liyue Harbor. Maybe we were wrong about them.
Just as I thought. They didn't go to Liyue Harbor. They went that way. The footprints stop here, but, judging from the direction...
La la la.
Looks like we were too late. This has gotta be where the newcomers rendezvous with whoever they're working for. Look at these ashes.
Could there be anything left? Maybe the wind...
The odds of that are very slim. It's practically impossible.
Why don't we wait for them back at the Black...
We can't count on that. Clearly they were baked to me. That says that whoever's behind...
Darn!
Make no mistake. The purpose of our trip, I smelled something peculiar. Those newcomers probably thought they'd be safe as long as they burned the letters. But what they fit...
Really?
There is a certain place with a freezing cold climate where there's nothing but... Some wealthy people there put floral fragrance in their ink, as when that fragrant ink is burned, This is the exactly. The evidence will soon be blown away by the wind, but it's all I need. Now I know who—
Lady Yelan! Oh, thank goodness I finally found you. I thought I'd never see you again.
Don't be alarmed. This is Upe. He's Wenyuan. I sent him to look into Jur-E's regular contacts. Since Jur-E likes fishing, I left him a note at Yanshang Tea House telling him to look for— So, what did you find out at sea?
Forgive my incompetence. I asked all the fishermen multiple times, but none of them had any interactions with Jur-E before. Then when I got back, I heard that you'd gone to Black Cliff Forge and might need backup, so I went—
Well, Uncle Tian said that Jur-E once bought a—
What? That's news to me. No, that's not possible. It's absolutely not possible. Lady
Interesting. Then I wonder how that even—
Fish soup? What fish soup?
Nothing. Our priority right now is to find a way to get our— Well, any suggestions? Not a bad idea. Upe, what do you think?
Honestly, I've already tried following Jur-E, but the guy's—
Okay, so tailing.
No, we'll still need to tail him. But
Groundwork?
when you've worked in intelligence for a long time, you'll understand that no one can stay on high alert forever. Especially— Tomorrow morning I'll announce his victory at Yuehai Pavilion. Be sure to arrive on time. You won't want to miss the— It looks like we're all here. Well then, time for me to— I won't drone on about the importance of the Tianshu role. Suffice to say that Uncle Tian entrusted me—
All of us here know the score. Don't beat around the bush.
Qianwei has many pioneering ideas, but some of his plans are lacking in deep— Mingbo is reliable, but not quite ambitious enough, and because of his personality. In contrast, Jur-E is evenly balanced across the board, after much consideration. I have decided to—
What?
Congratulations.
Thank you. Honestly, I'm a little surprised to hear my name being— In my estimation, all three of us are worthy candidates for the Tianshu position. Would either of you entertain the possibility of working with—
I'll have to see.
I don't mind, as long as I can help.
Okay, well, that's all from me. Jur-E, you'll have some preparation to do. It won't be long before you're informed of your official—
I will live up to the Tianshu name. On this, you have my word. I should go. I need to pack my things, and then I think a celebratory meal is in order. Would anyone like to join me?
Count me out. I'm not in the mood for—
Jur-E seems pretty relaxed now. This would be a good time to follow him.
Hey, traveler, tell me something. What exactly does that guy have that I— If you can't answer that, I'm not accepting this result.
I, also wouldn't mind no—
Oh no, if we get stuck here, we won't be—
Follow him.
Yes, ma'am.
We finally got rid of them.
Lady Yelan, Jur-E has gone towards Feiyun Slope.
Follow him, quickly.
So Jur-E really— But Uncle Tian thinks so highly of him. Why would he do this?
Difficult to say, but everything should become a lot clearer when we find him.
Sorry, Lady Yelan. We lost him. He's too good at this. We weren't able to keep following him without being seen.
How the heck did he manage to shake Yelan's? I guess Jiri didn't let his guard down.
No, Upe says he's much more relaxed than usual. Maybe it's just how he's wired.
But how?
Don't blame yourselves. Let's not forget he was trained by Uncle Tian himself. If I'd asked you to tail Uncle Tian, you'd have ended up at a dead end too. It's fine.
Shinyue Kiosk. He only went in briefly. Upe and I were watching outside. A few moments later, a man dressed in a completely different outfit came out. Upe had a feeling that it was him. I figured that if we spooked him, it would undo what we've accomplished today so far. So I stopped Upe, and I stayed here to wait for you while that meathead went to ask around and
Good work. The fish didn't take the bait, but that's okay. As long as he's still swimming around, well, let's go to Shinyue Kiosk.
Could you explain to me how that works? A guy like him comes in, changes his whole outfit right under your nose, and
Our customers are free to dress however they please. What?
okay, fair enough, but
Well, maybe I did, but it still doesn't give me the right to stop him.
Enough. Let's tone this down a little. I'll make this quick. Just one question. What did he buy while he was...
Oh, he didn't buy anything. He just picked up a bottle.
A bottle of liquor?
Yes, a very strong kind. Fiery, with... This gentleman ordered it in person from us a long time ago. He was only here today to...
Liquor. And wine.
Where to?
Shigu Antiques. Hey, Miss Linlong. Sorry to bother you. Zhi ordered a wanware. We're friends of his. He's been telling us how impressed he is with the
Sure. Which model are you looking for?
We don't really know a whole lot about wineware. Let's just go with Zhi's choice.
Zhi picked up his set not long ago. As a quality imitation of an antique, just so you're aware, we don't have many of this model left in stock. And now that Mr. Zhi...
Don't worry. Price shouldn't be an issue. I'm sure we can work something out. But I'm just a little hazy on one thing. Did Zhi...
For this set, the wine glasses are sold separately. Minimum purchase is 1 glass.
Okay. Thanks, Linlong. Seems there's a little more to buying wineware than I first thought.
Well, don't take too long. We could sell out any day now. Oh,
This is turning into a real headache.
I'd just like to point out that we have the self-professed Grand Master of Fieldwork.
it's not like you did any better.
My specialty is information trading, okay?
Yelan, so has the plan failed? Oh, if we can't figure out where Jerry went, there's not much we can do.
If so, it's no ordinary celebration.
What do you mean?
First of all, Zhi isn't much of a drinker. On some level, if he was just looking to celebrate by himself, he wouldn't spend his meager savings on an No. This is a victory feast. Whoever this person is clearly enjoys hard liquor and has... Now, where might we find Fatui who match that description?
Fatui officials.
Have both locations surrounded. Take as many people as you need.
Lady Yelan, is it time for us to make our move?
Get with the program, would you? This is a covert surveillance operation. In which case,
Great idea! So we just...
But Lady Yelan, if we get caught, this could become a
I'm well aware. But don't you see? Zhi is gambling everything on this. If we stick to your orders, and make sure we're covering all other bases.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't worry, Lady Yelan. Zhi may be a slippery character, but we'll keep a close watch on the movements of...
I'll be waiting for you at the tea house. If I'm guessing correctly, Fatui officials are likely to take action at night. Perfect timing. Wenyuan just sent word that the Fatui ambassador, Yusupov, just left.
Qingshu Pool? That's...
It looks like that's where they've arranged to meet. Qingshu Pool is always crawling with monsters. Most people wouldn't...
Oh no, we gotta go get them!
Let's go. If my hunch is correct, we... This is Qingshu Pool, full of ruins, crawling with monsters. Anyone with any sense steers well clear of this place. I've looked into the place before. There's a worker's entrance somewhere around here. Follow me. There's been some work done on this place in the past, but it's a bit of a labyrinth inside. The workers left an emergency access route. If we... Still, be ready to fight at any moment.
Don't worry, we're all professional. By the way, Yelan...
They have other things to take care of first. We couldn't afford to...
Wouldn't gliding be faster?
Gotcha!
You can't run! Time for takeoff! Punishment! Judgment! Yahoo!
As I expected, but this shouldn't be too much trouble.
Ambassador here. That must be the emergency access route, right?
I'll protect us.
Here we go!
Busted! No! Things are about to get dicey.
Dumpty Dumpty go! Boing boing boom! Let's play! Let's dance! Think you can get away? Shiver! Judgment! Let the show begin.
Gotcha. Busted.
La la la. Go, Barbara, go!
The water's flowed into the groove, and now the statues have lit up. Okay, now we should be able to move the statues. We should be nearly at the bottom now. Let's wrap this up.
I'll protect us.
Gotcha. Quietly now. Game's over. Time's over.
Yahoo! Time for takeoff. Yeah! Jumpy dumpty go! Boing boing! La 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 la. Sa.
I can tell from the aroma that this is very fine liquor indeed. I'm impressed. Come on, bottoms up. After you, of course.
Sorry, that went down the...
You'll get there. If you want to stay friends with us. You're more of a lightweight than I thought. I thought you were made of sterner stuff. You certainly kept it together when you were poisoning your teachers. Come on, another round.
Sure. You didn't leave me much of a choice, though, did you? Just the mention of poisonings. I'm more timid than you realize. Every time I poisoned him...
Look, I know it has not been easy for you, my friend. But I have to say, you really are quite a genius at poisoning. I mean, the poison we brought from Snezhnaya is as strong as this wine, but you found a way to turn it into an... What was it you said? Oh, yeah. You said the soup's fishy flavor neutralizes the pungency of the poison, and
It struck me one day when I was fishing. I'm lucky it did. Otherwise, I'm not...
You have performed excellently. The Fatui will continue to... Aside from Qingshu Pool.
Don't worry.
Did you hear that? It was poison! What a nasty guy!
Hold on. Did you bring the camera? If not, you can use mine. This is quite a scene. We have to capture...
Excellent liquor. We've, seen no progress on the diplomatic front, but soon, everything will be I remember when I first saw you. I knew right away that you would make a good partner for us. Hey, do you still remember what I said to you?
How could I forget? You said a lowly commoner like me could never be seen as a serious The only way is for you to shine bright in the Tianshu's darkest moment. I think you were absolutely right.
Yes. Under normal circumstances, the gap between you and other people could only ever grow wider over time. Just look at your two competitors. Qianwei had wealth. Mingbo had reputation. But you had nothing. And that's why I decided to help you. You know, there's an old saying in the Fatui. Give a starving dog a bone, and it'll guard your home.
Yes. I cannot thank you enough for...
You know, the best thing about you is that you do as you're heck, when you're not in the company of the Fatui, you'll...
Uncle Gao said that Zhi has low self-esteem. He was worried that whatever advantage he might have now will diminish over time. Do you have any more film in the camera? Then get ready to use it. Tonight, how well this goes for us depends on how Zhi...
Ooh, is there any more alcohol? Go on. Fill me up. I'm gonna...
There's only a little left. Here, I'll fill your glass. If you like it, I can bring you some more next time.
Whoa, this is the good stuff. Huh? Zhi,
You seem surprised, Mr. Yusupov. How could I not? I've sacrificed years of my life studying and reflecting to prepare myself for this position. You really think I'd put myself through all that just to become your...
You imbecile. It's the Fatui who got you to where you are. Do you
see the haystack in the corner? Underneath it is a pile of explosives. And next door in the dark room are the 3 undercover agents I'm gonna stay here till I see you slip into unconsciousness. Then I'm gonna set this on fire. Once the flames burn through the hay, they'll ignite the explosives.
What?
I took the liberty of leaving some evidence of your contact with the undercover agents at the Black Cliff Forge. It won't take long for people to join the Fatui planted undercover agents in the Black Cliff Forge to steal their signature ruin-grade but things didn't quite go to plan. Faced with the overwhelming evidence, the embassy won't investigate this any further. It explains why you acted alone, while exonerating the... Of course, none of that will have anything to do with me. When all of this comes to my attention, I'm afraid I'll have no choice but...
Jerry, do you really think you're gonna get away with this? After I die, they'll come looking.
A record? Oh, you must mean the one in the hands of...
What? How?
Because when you contacted me, I also made contact with your associates. I have Theophant. He'll help me tie up all the loose ends. After all, he has been eyeing your position for a long...
That traitor!
Shh. Relax. It's over. Sweet dreams.
I did a little surveying on the way here and found that you'd left yourself 3 escape routes in case things went south. I have them all surrounded. If you're thinking of trying anything, we were here the whole time and have pictures of everything. They came out pretty nicely.
The game's up? Forgive me, I happened to discover a Fatui operation here, so I approached them on the pretext of joining forces and eventually brought them down from within.
This is how you want to play it, huh? Fine. You do you. All we need to do to convict you is a step... Nothing else you...
One wrong move and it all comes crashing. You followed him here, didn't you? I was so focused on keeping myself out of sight, I forgot... Let's talk about this, Yelan. I gave you my word that I would live up to the Tianshu name, and that much, I...
Your point being?
When I take office, I can guarantee that I will act in your best interests. I don't deny that I used underhanded methods to get here. But
You still don't get it, do you? What do you think? Exactly. Jur-E, clever people can always come up with a good excuse. There's nothing wrong with wanting to win other people's respect, but when has Uncle... He was like a teacher and a father to you, but you chose to repay that by poisoning him. Whatever positive goal you...
That's enough.
Of course. What makes this even crueler is that you managed to convince yourself there was, out of everyone in the world, he is the one who trusts you the most.
That's enough!
Life is like fishing. It cannot be rushed. Whatever you do, impatience will accomplish nothing. I was just like you once, desperate to prove myself. Only later did I realize things do not always turn out the way you plan, but you have to keep calm to carry on. You're still young. Be patient, believe in yourself, and don't look outside yourself to prove your value. Where's Jur-E these days? It's been a long time since he last paid me a visit.
Maybe he's just busy.
Well, next time, if he doesn't bring a pot of piping hot fish soup, don't let him in.
Whatever you were thinking about, you'll have plenty of time to mull it over in prison. Oh, I almost forgot. If the Fatui find out what happened today, prison might not turn out to be the safest place for you. Trying to have friends on both sides, it has a way of turning everyone against you. But right now, I have an opportunity for you.
Huh?
Sorry, things are about to get extremely busy for me. I'll have someone remove the explosives. Then, there's...
Need our help with that?
No, it could be dangerous. You should leave this one to the professionals. Don't worry, as long as they're willing to cooperate, get some rest. See you tomorrow.
Let the show begin. La la la. Let's play. Ha!